to. Oh, here he is.
Do you want me to read that?
Yeah.
The big secret of Colin Bridgerton is that he's a cocky, strong guy. I got it.
Cocky, strong guy.
Well, you are literally a cocky, strong guy. Love that for you.
Thank you very much. In the dream.
Oh yeah, there's lots of like nice flames.
Yeah.
And the wind was really on our side that day.
Yeah, it was.
Because the wind was like catching, I had ribbons.
A Bridgerton backlash. Fans react to controversial, mixed-weight romance headline. The hit period drama Bridgerton finds itself at the center of a heated debate after a Forbes opinion piece sparked backlash over its headline, which labeled the on-screen relationship between Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton as a mixed-weight romance. The article, written by weight bias expert Virgie Tovar, critiques societal standards of desirability and addresses fat phobia, but the controversial phrasing drew widespread criticism online. Fans defended the love story between Penelope Featherington and Colin Bridgerton, with many pointing out the double standards in media representations of body image. Tovar's nuanced critique of a Spectator piece by Zoe Strimple, which blatantly dismissed the plausibility of Coughlan's character winning her prince, was largely overshadowed by the uproar over the term mixed weight. Meanwhile, the series stirred more discussion with a bold plot twist, a gender-swapped version of Michael Sterling as Michaela in Francesca Bridgerton's storyline. Showrunner Jess Brownell confirmed the change was part of efforts to increase LGBTQIA+ representation, promising viewers more queer joy in upcoming seasons. Despite the controversies, Bridgerton remains a hot topic, keeping fans eagerly anticipating what's next in its ever-evolving world of romance and scandal. A Bridgerton backlash, Outrage is sparked as a headline declares the relationship between Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton is a mixed-weight romance. A certain opinion piece about the period drama has become the talk of the ton, and earned widespread criticism for its negative commentary. It's not unusual for Bridgerton to dominate the headlines, after all, who isn't keen to hear of Lady Whistledown's latest exploits? This week, however, the period romp is attracting attention more negative press, after a Forbes opinion piece suggesting viewers are still not ready to see a mixed-weight romance on screen went viral for all the wrong reasons. The feature, written by leading expert on weight bias Virgie Tovar, argues that the relationship between Penelope Featherington and Colin Bridgerton, played by Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton, that has kept fans glued to their seats throughout Season 3 of the popular drama, defied romance plotline convention and creates friction around the socially acceptable limits of desire, simply because Coughlan is larger than Newton. Are we ready for a mixed-weight romance on screen? Reads the headline. Tovar's use of the phrase mixed weight has kicked off a furious online battle, as fans of the Shonda Rhimes series took to X to argue against its negative connotations. One user questioned why no articles have been written about larger men who date smaller women on TV, with another voicing her disgust that fat women are really just hated by society on a molecular level. It's important to note that Tovar is bearing the brunt of the online anger, even though her article is more nuanced than its headline would suggest. In fact, Tovar uses the piece to criticize another journalist, Zoe Strimple, whose recent article for The Spectator left readers in little doubt about its author's fat phobia. Reader, Coughlan is not hot, and there is no escaping it, Strimple writes. She's not shapely, which can work as sexy even in Hollywood, she's fat. There's nothing wrong with fat, it's hardly a moral shortcoming, but a zest for equality and diversity, and in this case good acting, just isn't enough to make a fat girl who wins the prince remotely plausible. Tovar, who describes herself as larger-bodied, unpacks and dismantles Strimple's argument, calling for us to notice that Colin's desire for Penelope isn't even addressed. Only the implausibility of that desire is mentioned. She goes on to discuss the complex ways that fat phobia interacts with other characteristics, like class, adding that even though most people, regardless of their body size, don't marry rich aristocrats, for a person with entrenched anti-fat attitudes, it's really important that the few who do are thin people. However much the detail of the article adds subtle context to the piece, the mixed weight of phrase used in the headline is still causing a furor, and it's not the only Bridgerton news story being discussed online. The last episode of Season 3 included a shocking plot twist that has left viewers open-mouthed. In the books, Francesca Bridgerton, played by Hannah Dodd, marries John Sterling. After John dies, she couples up with his cousin, Michael. In the show finale, Michael is introduced, but in a move that stunned fans, Michael had been gender-swapped to be Michaela. The move left many fans disappointed. However, showrunner Jess Brownell detailed the reasoning behind the change, confirming plans for more LGBTQIA+ plotlines. When we started talking about queer representation on the show, we started with a discussion that this is a show about happily ever afters, and that we're not interested in queer trauma, we really want to see queer joy, Brownell said in an interview. You're going to see more of Michaela next season, she continued. I can't say in what capacity. But there is going to be a relationship between Michaela and Fran, as per the books. Whatever comes next for Bridgerton, interest in the series and its cast is showing no sign of dying down, so stay tuned, dearest reader, as Season 4 looks set to be just as captivating.